do you never answer the phone when I call you, huh? Why must you be like this? You can't be busy. You should be at home, right? What's gotten into you? Why won't you pick up? I've rang the doorbell so many times, so you need to come out here. Why do you always make me wait like this? It's despicable behavior. You're acting like a spoiled brat, such an inconsiderate person. Edith, why must you always keep going on and on with this? You always cause me so much grief when you come here, and that's every single day. This must be a joke, right? I cause you grief? You're the one that's doing it to me. You're just sitting there at home anyway, bored out of your mind. When your mother-in-law comes to your house, you greet her as soon as possible and not make her wait. Am I being clear, Alice? Edith, you come over to this house so often. It's such a hassle when you just drop by like this. Doesn't Bill know what you're up to? Don't you remember how much he criticized you the other day for annoying me? He said quite a bit to you, right? What happens between me and my son has nothing to do with you, Alice, okay? Instead of worrying about that, open the door and let me in. I'm sorry, Edith, but I can't let you in today. I've been dealing with a lot of morning sickness, and I just want to be left alone and have some peace and quiet. Oh, great. Isn't that just an excuse for you to avoid me? I can understand all of your cowardly thoughts without having to ask for the real reason why you don't want me around. I've always wondered why my own son, Hunter, would marry such an unobedient wife, you know? It's very annoying. I don't know what else to say to you except I'm sorry. I'm not wanting any company today. If something urgent happens, then you'll be the first one I ask, okay? Fine, all right then. Also, there was something that I wanted to ask you. Could you please tell me which OBGYN you see? It's important that I know. I don't understand why you would want to know who I see, Edith. Why do you have to make things so difficult for a woman like me, Alice? For the sake of my unborn grandchild, I want to know, all right? Or is there another reason why you won't tell me? Do you not want me at your appointments? Okay, please calm down. I'll tell you who I'm seeing in a minute. I'll send you the details. You better. It's super important that I know everything so that I can make sure that my grandchild is born happy and healthy. Alice, what's going on here? Are you okay? I really don't think that you are. I'm really getting annoyed with all your antics. You're a terrible wife who thought it would be funny to steal my baby boy away from me and then get pregnant. And this is my punishment for it? You're pushing me out of my son's life. I'm not going to put up with this any longer. I wish you would just float away and never come back. Edith, what's gotten into you? What are you even talking about? I've not done anything to you. How could you be this rude to me? Why do you have to be so mean to me all the time? I don't understand. Wait, what? I have no idea what you mean, Alice. Are you trying to pin all of this on me? All right then, I guess it's all my fault. You're making no sense. I have enough to deal with. Sally's fallen down the stairs. It's really bad. Wait, what's going on? What do you mean Sally fell down the stairs? Sally, you know she's like a little sister to me, and I was just trying to look after her. We get along really well. I knew I couldn't deal with this on my own with being pregnant, so I took her to the same hospital I go to for my checkups. Then, as we were walking through the hospital together today, I really needed to go to the bathroom. Someone shoved me, and I fell down the stairs as I was trying to find the bathroom. Oh, really? But how could that have possibly happened to you when you have such steady feet? Well, you did hint before about if I was okay or not. I think you were trying to say that you pushed me down. Maybe. I really want a proper confession out of you, Edith. You pushed me down those stairs, didn't you? What the heck are you talking about? Are you wanting to tell me that I pushed you? This is outrageous. All you have to do is answer my questions truthfully. Where were you around lunchtime today? The clothing looked really similar to what you wear, and the lady was about the same height and shape as you. Was it an accident? That you were just trying to get our attention, but you ended up pushing me so Sally and I fell down? You didn't do that now, did you, Edith? You need to be honest with me. What do you mean? Are you doubting my honesty? Are you insane? I can't believe you're even asking me this. Don't you think that it's your fault and you didn't look where you were going and that's the reason why you and Sally fell down those steps? You seriously think that I did this on purpose? Who in their right mind would make themselves fall down the stairs? Well, I can bet all my money that you did, Alice, because you're a liar. You just had to take my son away from me, didn't you, Alice? What you said is not what happened. I didn't do anything to you or Sally. So that isn't a confession? You've got nothing to say about what's happened? Are you kidding me? Don't be so stupid, Alice. If Sally loses her baby, it'll be all your fault. There's no one else to blame in all of this. When the time comes, I'm going to ask for compensation since you caused Sally so many problems, all because of your clumsiness. I also want you to break up with my son. Hunter has more than likely had enough of your schemes. You're no good for him. Why should I do any of that when I've done nothing wrong? You can't make me do any of that. I love my husband. No, you know deep down that it's all your fault. You're going to pay for what you've done to my family. You need to start getting yourself ready to break up with Hunter or else. Do you understand? You'll regret it if you don't.
What the heck's going on, Mom? What were you thinking, doing what you did? This is appalling behavior from what I thought was a loving and kind mother.
Huh? Hunter? Is that you? Why are you talking like this to me? What's happening, sweetheart?
What's happened? You should know what's happened, Mom. And don't you dare call me sweetheart. Apparently, you pushed Sally down the stairs at the hospital. And on top of that, you also attempted to push Alice as well? Do you even understand their situations right now? Don't you know that they're pregnant? Did you even think about the little lives that are growing inside their stomachs right now? So irresponsible. So cruel.
But they're both okay, right? If they're fine, then why are you making such a big deal about it, Hunter? Don't you know that all I want is what's best for you, Hunter? You're the most important thing in my life. I feel sorry for what happened to Sally, but it's really not my fault, all right? I'm just trying to protect you from that evil woman. Alice is poisoning that mind of yours. I had to break that horrible curse that she had you under sooner or later. It was for your own good, Hunter.
Would you cut it out, Mom? I can't believe this. It's insane how you're acting right now. You always try to do this to whoever I'm with. You've been too attached to me since I was a little kid. It's weird. You don't care about anything other than what you decide to do. Am I right?
But it's not like that, Hunter. I'm just worried about how you're being treated. I just want what's best for you, son.
Well, would you quit worrying about me when I'm actually fine? You're so overbearing. The real problem is how you act towards Sally and Alice. I know it was you who did this to them. No matter how much you try to deny it, I'm still convinced that this was your doing.
Hunter, how could you turn on your own mother like this? I know what's best for you. All these women in your life are toxic.
You know nothing of my life, Mom. Are you going to answer my question? Where were you around lunchtime today?
Today at lunchtime? Of course I can answer that. I was invited to a neighborhood committee meeting, so I participated in that during lunchtime.
A neighborhood committee meeting, huh? I don't think I trust you in saying that, because you're probably using your authority so that people from the meeting will back you up.
Are you kidding me? Are you saying that you don't believe me when it comes to my whereabouts today? You know why you don't believe me. It's because of that horrible woman that you're with. It's all her fault. She's brainwashing you into being a bad person.
Cut it out, Mom. Stop calling my wife horrible in every other insult that you've said during this conversation. Just stop being so rude. That's it. I've had enough of this. I don't want to see you if you're not going to show some respect for my wife. I can't deal with your crap right now.
Wait, Hunter, can't you just hear me out a little bit longer? Don't leave this conversation, please. I can't believe you told Hunter what happened to you. I should have known that you'd drag him into your problems. Of course I told him. He needed to know what happened to me. It wouldn't make sense to hide it. Oh, like you're such a great human being, Alice. In the past, Hunter was an honest and good boy. He did what I told him to do. He was so adorable. But now he's started to turn against me, even though I've done nothing wrong. This is all your fault. You're wrecking my son's life. How is any of this my fault? Why are you always blaming me for everything? Originally, I was super against you marrying my son. A girl who grew up being abused isn't a good match for my Hunter. I really don't understand how my son could have fallen in love with someone like you. You're absolutely no good for him. When I first went to meet you, you welcomed me into the family with open arms, didn't you? You said from now on, I could also think of you as my mother. Because you knew that I was bullied by my own mother throughout my entire childhood. I was really happy that I could have a real mother and daughter relationship with my mother-in-law, but I guess I was wrong. Well, it seems like I'm more like your mother than I thought. That means I can treat you the same way she did. Come on, that's what mothers do. Are you serious? So you're telling me that you basically betrayed me? I believed you back then. Even though I betrayed you, you were the one who was stupid enough to trust me, weren't you? Wow, you don't even feel guilty. What's your problem, Edith? As soon as we got married, you thought I was a failure and badmouthed me being a wife. It doesn't take you long for you to look down on people. You're so stuck up, Edith. Excuse me? You've got no right to badmouth me. I'm the president of the neighborhood committee. You don't even come close to my level. All you are, Alice, is the scum of a poor and abusive family. You're not going anywhere in life, and you're dragging my son with you. Whatever you say to me, Edith, isn't going to hurt me. You say these things while you wear expensive clothes and jewelry. Since when can you afford all those things? You bought everything with your husband's earnings. Does he approve of your spending? What are you talking about? His earnings belong to two people, not just him. It's mine as well. I won't let you complain about my financial situation. It's none of your business. You can't just do what you like. Huh? Is that so? Go ahead, do what you want, Edith. I won't stop you spending all your husband's money. I think you'll end up regretting it, though. The only thing I want right now is for you to shut your mouth. Keep it shut and do as you're told. Leave my son and leave us alone. Oh, Alice, have you done what I told you to do? You really need to break up with Hunter soon. Since your stomach's getting so big now, I did you a favor and got you the divorce papers myself. You should be grateful that I'm helping you. I wrote down Hunter's name on his behalf so that he doesn't need to bother with any of this mess. What the heck are you talking about, Edith? Did you seriously go and file for a divorce on our behalf even though we don't want it? Well, I didn't know this until I actually tried, but other family members can file divorce papers on your behalf if you're incapable of doing so. Look, I just need to state the reason why, but I can't quite copy your handwriting. I haven't mastered it. I'm sure they'll accept it since you've injured your dominant writing hand. It won't make a difference to them. But your plan isn't going to work, Edith. It means nothing if Hunter doesn't agree to the terms of it. This is basically fraud, Edith. This is one of the worst crimes you can be charged for, so just don't even bother doing this. What are you talking about? It's not fraud. Besides, Hunter cares about his mother more than anybody else in his life. If I order you both to break up with each other, then you'll both do that. You need to obey my orders. Right now, Hunter's still caught in your poisonous trap, so he won't go against anything you tell him, but I don't live that far away from you. It won't take much to take you down. I'm sure he'll go back to being that honest and adorable son that he was before. He's changed so much because of you. Well, before you try and break me and Hunter up, I think you should worry about what's going on in your life. Huh? What do you mean by that? What do you even mean? Is there something going on that I should know about? Oh, wow. I thought you would have some idea of what's going on, but I guess you don't take notice of what's going on around you. Well, I heard that your husband's going to calculate the amount you've spent on things and bill you for how much you owe him. Wait, what? What do you mean he's going to bill me? Why would he make up such a thing? I know that you're lying to me just to scare me. I've got no reason to lie to you, Edith. I spoke to him last night about it. At the moment, it's still a rough estimate, but more than likely, you'll have to give him $30,000. I heard that he's going to bill you an invoice later. Did you really use that much money to get what you wanted? No, just a minute. Wait! Why are there bills between a husband and wife when we're married and we share everything? No matter how many times he told you about not spending all the money, you just didn't listen to him, Edith. It seems like his patience is run thin with you after how you've been treating me and everyone else for that matter. He just wants you to do the right thing so that you can finally take responsibility for something that you've done. Him asking for his money back is the first step in rectifying what you've done, so just give him back the money. But that's just not possible. He can't do this to me. Who has that kind of money to pay back someone anyways? What am I supposed to do? I don't know why you're asking me that when I don't know what you should do. It's your problem, Edith. Ugh, not only are you a useless wife, but you're a useless person. How does anyone rely on you for anything? Hunter, are you there? I could really use your help right now, sweetie. Could you please pass on this message to your father? Until now, I've been only buying expensive clothes and accessories. I understand that. It's only because I want to look professional as the president of the neighborhood association. If the president of the association were to show up in rags as clothing, wouldn't you think I'd be criticized as being poor? It was a necessary expense, I swear. Your father must have forgotten that I was going to do this, so he's acting up about the whole thing. It's just a bit of a miscommunication. So please, Hunter, can you mediate between your father and I just this once? It would be very helpful, and he'll listen to you.
I'm afraid that's an impossible task, Mom. I just can't do that for you.
But I don't understand. What's happened to make you be like this towards me? I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, Dad and I actually hold the same opinion about what you've been doing and how you've been treating people, especially my wife.
But I don't get it. How on earth do you think I've gotten to this point? Do you really think I'm treating people that badly?
Mom, you're always so self-centered. You think of nobody else but yourself and what only benefits you. You don't care about others at all. You're only sensitive when it comes to your emotions, and you don't think about how other people are feeling in the moment you hurt them.
That's absolutely not true. I'm always thinking about your feelings, Hunter. I don't understand what you're trying to say here.
Oh, so you're saying that all these decisions have to come back to you? Is that it? You've always been like this, Mom. No matter what I tried to do, I couldn't do anything without your permission. It was ridiculous. You chose who I was allowed to hang out with, and you chose my friends for me. It was weird. Do you think I've ever made a decision for myself? No, I haven't, because you've always been in the middle of my business and take away the choices for me. You even choose what toys I was allowed to play with on a certain day and what books I was allowed to buy. You're so controlling, Mom. You chose everything for me, and it was so frustrating. Didn't you realize that it was a form of neglect? You never listened to your own child. It's sad and so frustrating to deal with. I hated it so much.
I've heard enough. That's enough of that. Don't say such things to me. I just wanted you to become a special person to everyone that came into your life.
It's all your fault. You've interfered with my life for too long now. I'm also suffering the consequences now. There were so many times that I couldn't even have a conversation with the friends I wanted to have a private conversation with. You stunted my growth, Mom. I can hardly make decisions on my own because you took that autonomy away from me.
That's not true, Hunter. I was just doing what was best for you and helping you choose the right people to be friends with.
Isn't that why you treat Alice so poorly? Because she was the first person I chose to have in my life and I wanted to marry her. You're so mad at her existence because that decision was ripped out of your hands, wasn't it? You've got no reason to treat my wife like you have been. It's all because you had no say in my future marriage. There's no one out there in the real world who would help someone like you put down my wife just because you didn't get to choose my future wife.
Okay, yes, I maybe am feeling a bit put off because I had no say in the matter, but it doesn't mean that that's the reason why I treated her badly. What do you want me to do about this situation, sweetie? I don't know how I could ever pay back $30,000. It's such a huge debt to pay. There's no way that I can survive if I have to owe all that money back to your father. It's not fair. We're husband and wife, for goodness sake.
I'm not here to be your scapegoat, Mom. You need to figure out your own situation all on your own. I'm not helping you out. This is the seed that you've sowed, Mom. You deal with the consequences of your actions.
Okay, I really can't believe you're talking to your own mother like this. I suppose you're not on my side about this. I guess I'll just ask everyone in the neighborhood association about this and see where I go from here. I'm the president of the association after all. Anything I tell them to do, they'll do it. If they raise $30,000, I'm sure they can get it to me in no time and I'll no longer be in debt.
Are you seriously relying on other people to solve your problems for you, Mom? You're going to do something like this again? I think it's pointless in you asking the neighborhood to help pay off your debts for you.
Wait, what do you mean? How could you say something like that? Those are my friends, and friends help each other out.
Well, I happened to run into the vice president of the association the other day, and they immediately started talking about you and your issues.
What? Are there rumors being spread about me or something? I don't understand.
Well, they started talking about the incident and when you pushed Sally down the stairs.
Oh, come on, this again? You know that wasn't me, Hunter. Why is this made-up story going around the rumor mill? You know what? It was that horrid wife of yours, wasn't it? She's the one spreading rumors about me, that little cow. She's trying to make me suffer, I know it.
Would you quit it with this nonsense, Mom? Stop immediately blaming Alice for everything. We all know it's not a rumor, and that's what truly happened. Stop denying it. You're such a liar. It all started from the hospital. You know the hospital that Alice and Sally go to is a general hospital, right? There are a lot of witnesses in a general hospital, Mom. That's why in that moment, they saw you push Sally down the stairs. They were heading to a different department in the hospital when you did this.
You're lying. That's not what happened, Hunter. I really thought no one was watching. There were hardly any people around.
I suppose you don't want to fix what you've broken anymore, do you, Mom? Well, I already know the truth, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore. In this case, I would think that you'd be made to step down from your position in the neighborhood association, Mom. They'll fire you by a majority vote. I wouldn't count on them helping you with anything. Don't go running to them for help.
There's no way they'd do that to me. If I can't rely on them, what should I do? I really need your help, sweetie. Come on, help your poor mom out. Everything is your fault, Alice. Why do I have to go through this mess? I am going to sue you for all the pain you've caused me. Give me back my happiness. Life was so much easier until you came along and ruined my son's life. I don't get you sometimes, Edith. You tell me to give you back your happiness, but think about it. What the heck did I ever do to you? And now you think you can sue me even though I haven't done anything? What crime are you suing me for? In reality, aren't you just scared that I'll be the one who'll end up suing you? Do you think I find you that scary, Edith? How dare you stop making fun of me and other people? You're such a horrible person, Alice. The reason why I'm about to get into a lot of trouble is because you married Hunter when you were never a right fit for him. Without you hanging around, my peace and quiet would have been guaranteed. I could have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling in our business. I don't know how Sally got amongst the crossfire. I could have aimed for you better if you didn't make her be in the middle of us. Wow, you've really not reflected on your actions at all, have you, Edith? I've got no regrets doing what I did. Besides, it's all your fault for butting into my life anyway. Wow, you're exactly like my own mother in every way. It's sick. My mother abused me and never admitted that it was her fault, no matter what. You're doing exactly the same things that she did. You're such a coward as you tried to get away with it, but if I made the slightest objection, you'd blame things on me. Don't you understand why your son and I are so repulsed by you? Huh? What on earth are you talking about? My son's not repulsed by me. He just doesn't agree with what I did, that's all. I can't believe you're being like this. Fine. If that's your idea of how you see things, so be it. We've had our human rights stripped away and violated by our own parents. You controlled everything that Hunter tried to do in his life. The only way he could protect himself from you was to obey every single order you threw at him, no matter how unreasonable it was. He had no choice but to listen to what you said, and it killed him every single time. And then you treat your own child like your own possession. He's not an object, he's a human being. At the end of the day, there are people who have been hurt because of you, and all you've done is turn a blind eye to it. It's insane how you don't see what you've done. That's why even your own family is abandoning you. They don't want to deal with any more crap. Hold on a minute, what? What's that supposed to mean? How can my family abandon me? They're my flesh and blood. They wouldn't do that. I think you absolutely know what I mean. They don't like being controlled by you anymore. We're all done with you. Haven't you been listening to a word I've said? Your husband, Hunter, Sally, they all want to cut you out of the family, and I am definitely on their side with this one. That's not true. They can't just do this to me. I'm their mother. They can't just kick me out of the family. They'll be lost without me. If anyone is lost, it's you, Edith. You're the one that put them down, controlled them, and treated them like crap. No wonder they don't want to put up with it anymore. You know that the house is in your husband's name, right? He wants to sell it and move on. It would be better for you to get ready to leave as soon as possible. If you don't, your clothes and all your fancy accessories will be thrown in the trash, and you don't want that now, do you? Alice, you can't let them do this to me. He can't just sell the house without my permission. We make decisions together. Please help me. I'm really sorry for how I've treated you. I'll make it up to you. Just help me out with my family. Make them see straight. It's too late, Edith. This is the first time they're finally thinking straight, and they don't want you around anymore. Just stay out of our lives. We don't want anything to do with you. Don't even think about approaching our family ever again. Goodbye, Edith. Good luck with your new single life. You're going to need it. Hey, Hunter, has Sally been discharged from the hospital?
Yes, thank God she's okay now. Everything's fine.
Oh, that's so great! I can't believe your mom did this to her. I feel like this has all been my fault. If I just hadn't been with her, this wouldn't have happened.
Alice, you really need to stop blaming yourself for what happened. You did nothing wrong. It was all my mom's doing. She should have known better.
I know, it's just all the past trauma coming back to haunt me, and your mother just reminded me so much of my own mother, and everything was always my fault when it came to her.
I know what you mean, but it's not at all, Alice. Our mothers are terrible people, and now they're both out of our lives for good. We can live a better life now without them.
This is how the incident caused by Edith came to an end. It caused so much trouble, but it ended being Edith screaming for forgiveness. Hunter was able to break the bind that she had around him all his life. After that, Edith returned to her parents' house with nowhere else to go. Rumors of the latest commotion were circulating as well, and it seems like there was nowhere else for her to stay. However, in order to pay the $30,000 that her husband demanded, she had to work for the first time in over 10 years to help pay it off. She would go home every day so exhausted and feel so down about having to pay back the debt. Apart from that, Alice gave birth to a healthy baby boy last month. Luckily, nothing bad happened after that. Hunter's father was more than happy to have more new members join the family. I can't believe it. When I heard that a lowlife like you happened to own a super expensive restaurant, I was shocked.
It's been a long time, hasn't it, June? Why are you wanting to talk to me now?
I just wanted to talk with you about how surprised I am about what I've heard. But I can see that that place is too fancy for most people, so I'm sure you don't draw in a very large amount of customers, right? That's why I thought I'd be so kind and made a reservation there.
What? You made reservations at my restaurant.
Well, there is a reservation in your system, isn't there? For 80 people, I might add. That amount of people reserved for your restaurant should be on your radar at all times, right?
Oh, you're not kidding. What? There seems to be two of the same reservation in here. What is this one that you made reservations for about then?
Why are you asking me about what the reservation's for? We're having our class reunion at your restaurant.
Really? And you're going to be the one coordinating all of it.
I'm the one in charge of making the reservations for it, yes. So, aren't you excited that I was kind enough to reserve your restaurant?
But the time you have written in here, it's not the correct time, right?
Please be more thankful towards me. I am being oh so nice by having the class reunion in some idiot's really nice restaurant. Does this make you feel a little better now?
None of this makes me feel special in any way. It says here that you want everyone to receive a $50 course from us?
Well, we had to meet somewhere in the middle so that everyone can afford it.
I'm sorry, but my restaurant doesn't offer any kind of $50 courses, though. Having to serve over 80 people like you're asking for, that'll require a lot more time and effort from the staff here. This is all a little strange to me, June. The timing for the event is not right, and it seems like there was a duplicate of this same reservation made. Can you please make sure to talk to someone else who is helping plan this and make sure that you are both on the same page about the planning for this event?
I'm not really sure what you're trying to say right now. Are you not the person that's going to be making all of this food for us come the day of the reservation?
I'm not the chef or anything, no. My husband is the one who went to culinary school, and I'm the one that manages the business side of things. I went to school studying this kind of stuff, so I like to stay in my lane and not try to do something I'm not qualified for.
Thank goodness for that. I was worried you'd be making the food and was afraid it would all come out tasting like crap. Didn't want all my guests feeling as though I set them up for that.
Huh? Did you come here to talk with me only to say things like that?
Stella, I've never really liked you all that much ever since you and I first met.
Huh?
Why were you able to end up marrying such a wonderful man as your husband? Especially in his case. How could he possibly marry a witch like you?
June, you've started to become really rude again. Are you sure you're not taking all of this a bit too far now? What do you mean about him being such a wonderful man? Have you ever even met him before?
Well, he has himself a really nice restaurant with you, and since he's the chef, he has to be loaded by this point. Why would someone like you be so fortunate enough to land such a beautiful beast as him? It's pissing me off.
June, I'm sure you're a bit jealous of me and my husband right now because you have still not gotten married yet, but I'm not married to him for this restaurant or all his money. When him and I got married, we were both going through some very difficult times in our lives. And he didn't even have the restaurant at the time, because we only just opened this place up together after getting married.
I have zero idea what you're talking about right now. You have pissed me off a lot this time, and I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Are you even listening to me right now? Anyway, can you please talk with the other organizers for your class reunion about these reservations you've made and then get back to me about it? If you really want to have your event here, make sure everyone is on the same page about the details.
I really do not have a single clue what you're saying right now, but I'm looking forward to this event.
Are you listening to a word I'm saying to you?
I know it's only 5 minutes before the reservation, but we're canceling for today.
What?
I understand that we made reservations there for 80 people at your husband's and your really nice restaurant, but we really don't care to go there anymore, so we're canceling now.
You're going to cancel on the day of your reservation?
Well, your restaurant is just too expensive for all of us.
I explained to you before about the pricing here at this place.
Well, it's too expensive for us, so we're going to another place now. I'm sure that this is going to really make some troubles for you and your husband, but that was never my intention. But having to deal with a massive reservation like that in your system being canceled last minute must really break the both of you two's hearts.
I have been able to tell that this whole thing was done by you with the intention of causing us trouble. But when you're talking about this class reunion, what one is it and when is it taking place?
Huh? I'm talking about the class reunion that's today.
No, I don't think that that's the case.
This is a class reunion for everyone from high school to finally get back together again and catch up. And, well, we decided we want to go somewhere a lot cheaper now for the event. There's no reason for us to go to your restaurant anymore. You think we could actually eat any of the food your nasty husband planned to make for us?
I knew it.
Your restaurant is way too expensive for the bad quality of food, so we're going to find someplace else for the event. I know that we'll be having to cancel over 80 different meals there, but that shouldn't create any complaints from you, right?
That class reunion you're on about right now is finished. It just ended a little bit ago.
Huh?
I was wondering what the hell you were talking about this whole time. But I guess you were talking about the high school reunion after all, huh? Well, that must mean that there was some break in communication between you and the other 79 people that planned to attend. My restaurant happened to host that event, exactly as it had been reserved for. And now it's over.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? I'm wanting to ask you that same question right about now. The high school reunion is over with and everyone is heading home now. And as for the reservation you made for 80 people, you want me to cancel that.
What? Hold on a second. Are you being serious about the high school reunion already being over? Then what about the reunion that I had put together and everything?
I just went and asked some of your friends that are still here about that, and they said that you had been talking with them about something like that. But they all told you that they had no plans of going to your class reunion that you wanted to throw together, right?
Huh? What? Why not?
Wait, you're asking me why? June, do you have any idea what's been going on? Everyone hates you.
Huh?
That's why it was only natural for them all to never want to go to an event that you'd be putting together and attending. All of those people happened to make plans of their own for a class reunion, and they had that event starting here a few hours ago. And while it was coming to an end, you started to text me about wanting to cancel it right before it started. I'm going to be honest, what have you been talking about? I mean, I know now, but for a second there, you really had me confused about what reservation you had made.
This makes no sense to me right now. So, what is going to happen at the other restaurant that I planned on having the reunion at? My plan was to make a fake reservation at your place as well as one at the place I really want to have the reunion at. And then on the day of, I'd cancel last minute at your place and bring everyone over to the real party.
But since you had this all planned out the whole time, you already went and reserved another restaurant for 80 people. Well, I don't think anyone will be going to that restaurant today. Are you going to be okay? You're going to have to pay 2 different cancellation fees now.
Wait, what the actual hell are you saying? So the class reunion is really over with now? What's going to happen to me then? What is going to happen at the restaurant I actually reserved for my class reunion?
Has anyone began to show up to the restaurant with you that you invited? It should be starting now, right? You planned it all out, meaning you should be aware of what the start time is.
Nobody has come yet. That is why I'm freaking out about all of this right now. Why? What happened to make everyone turn out this way for me? Are you telling me that nobody planned on coming to the class reunion in the first place?
I'm not sure. But it seems to me that they never invited you to their class reunion, right? If they had never told you anything about the event they had been planning, then that must mean, you were never invited to it. To me, it seems that the event you planned out and the event everyone else had planned out are 2 different events. And if you were meaning for that event you planned out to be the high school reunion, that just happened to be at my restaurant. And it is all finished with now. I'm not sure that anyone is coming to your event, but I guess have fun there?
Wait a sec. I am telling you right now that nobody is coming to the event that I planned out?
Well, if there is seriously no one else showing up for it, that means they never wanted to come, right? I mean, everyone came to the event that was at my restaurant, so they weren't afraid to come out and see everyone.
You are lying, right? So you're telling me they never invited me to their reunion and never wanted to come to mine?
Why are you asking me about all that? I'm not the one involved in any of that stuff, all right? I'm not sure who is exactly your friend anymore from high school, but if there is anyone left, go ask them.
Huh? You and I are friends, right?
What? Hold up. I'm actually really shocked to hear that you thought that of us. I don't understand where you got the feeling that you and I are friends after all the history we have.
Huh? You're joking, right?
And if you really did happen to think of me as your friend or something, why would you do this to your friend?
What do you mean?
You made a reservation here on purpose and then planned to cancel the huge reservation on the day of in order to cause my husband and I trouble. I'm telling you right now that real friends never do something like that to one another.
But the fact that you never talked with me about marrying such a wonderful man as that was horrible of you. So I just thought I'd get my revenge for you doing something like that to me.
Excuse me? I think I've told you plenty of times now that he's not the perfect man you keep thinking of him as. But you've always been the kind of person to never listen to anyone besides your own conscience, and even then I'm not sure you listen to that either.
Is that why you think nobody invited me to that class reunion?
I'm not sure what the reason was, but everyone else came to the reunion here, so I'm sure it has to do with them all hating you. Like I said before, I'm surprised you never noticed that yet. They didn't even have you as part of the organizing team, all right? Why did you make reservations and preparations for something nobody wanted to be a part of? Did anyone even reply to you about wanting to come?
Well, it's that time of year when everyone gets together for class reunions, right?
What? So because other classes are having them this time of year, you thought you could just throw one together and everyone would show up? Did you invite everyone from our class to be there?
Well, you could say that I might have not invited everyone. But that's the thing about class reunions, right? You just have to tell a few people to come and word of it will spread. I wasn't going to be able to ask all 80 people to be at the party since I was already having to deal with reserving the restaurant.
But you expected 80 people to show up when not even bothering to get a response from them? Of course, this is why you never had a single soul come. Normally, in cases like class reunions, there will be a team that sets it up, and then they will send out invitations to each and every person from that class.
Huh? I never knew that.
Well, at this point, it doesn't even matter. All I'm saying is that for events like class reunions, it goes the same way as a wedding or a birthday party. You invite everyone that you want to be there, one by one. There is no point in getting upset about all of this now because the actual class reunion is over with. I think you need to go and tell the manager of that restaurant that you're canceling now before they begin to make more food. And of course, you canceled a reservation you made at my restaurant, so you're going to have to pay the cancellation fee here as well.
Huh? A cancellation fee?
This is what all high-end restaurants do. And you made a reservation for 80 people. That fills up my whole restaurant, which means we won't be making any money today now that you've canceled. So we are going to take a fee from you for canceling last minute. I told you before to talk with the others and make sure all your plans lined up when it came to the class reunion. I even told you that there happened to be a duplicate of the same reservation in my system.
But seriously, I never knew about the others making totally different plans at your restaurant for an earlier time.
Well, I warned you about it before! Yet after hearing that from me, you still didn't bother asking anyone about it, did you? Had you done that and realized that nobody would be coming to your event at that time, you could have canceled the reservation and not had to pay a single penny. I didn't know any better because to me it just looked like you were hosting another event right after.
But you could have at least done me a little better, giving me an explanation on all of that before. Had you done that, I would have figured out what was going on.
I am not wasting my time talking to someone who never listens to anything anyone else says to them, trying to get you to listen. That's just stupid. Now, are you going to pay me for that reservation? I even happen to know where your parents live, so you are paying me one way or another for this.
What? You really want to be that serious about getting my money from me?
Jesus Christ, of course!
Wait, how much is that fee going to cost me?
Well, the fee ends up being 100% of the cost of the whole dinner and event since you've canceled same day. Meaning you were looking at a $5,000 bill.
Huh? $5,000? What are you saying?
What am I saying? I'm saying that you owe me $5,000 for today now, and I'd like that paid to me before the end of the day.
You plan to get that kind of money, though, from an old classmate of yours?
It doesn't matter who you are, June. Whether you're my sister or my best friend, I'm going to make you pay full price when it comes to canceling a reservation as large as that. And remember, I've never been your friend. And after what you tried to pull today, I'm glad I never was your friend. So pay up now. I would ask that anyone else pay up for something like this, so let all that I'm your classmate crap go.
Stella, wait. Let's both take a moment to just wind down from all this. That amount of money, I can't pay it. And as for the restaurant I'm in right now, they aren't letting me leave until I pay up. And they said if I'm not going to pay, they'll have no choice but to call the police to come and get me. What should I do right now? If I use my credit card to pay right now, I won't have enough money left on it to pay you. Are you all right with me paying them first and I'll get back to you later?
Absolutely not, you brainless jackass.
Huh?
That restaurant has nothing to do with me, so I still want my money by the end of the day. I'm really not sure what voice in your head made you think it was such a good idea to reserve 2 different restaurants for 80 people at the same time. But the fact that you only made your reservation at my restaurant to harass me means that I will not go easy on you anymore. Prepare yourself, okay?
But I can't pay you right now.
I don't give a crap if you can pay right now or not. You're going to have to face the consequences of what you tried to pull today. I am going to get that money from you one way or another, so you'd better have a good lawyer in mind.
Wait, Stella, I'm so sorry about this. I just wanted to pick on you a little is all. I didn't think you'd ask for that much in cancellation fees for something like this.
You canceled a reservation on the day of at a very high-end restaurant. We have already finished buying all the ingredients for your event and even prepared some of it, so we're going to make you pay for all the time and money we put in.
Ah, I see. But really? $5,000?
Yes! I have had enough of you playing around, now pay up! I'm going to hound you down until I have every penny of that bill in my restaurant's bank account. Piles of trash like you are why I have gray hairs on my head already, and I'm not going to forgive you for that.
Stella, I'm sorry. Please, just forgive me this one time.
Stop trying to apologize. It's too late for that dramatic crap. Everyone already hates your guts, and so do I. Yet you never seem to get that. So now you're going to have to lose all your money due to your stupidity. Now pay up so that you'll hopefully learn your freaking lesson. In the end, June was asked by both restaurants to pay their cancellation fees to her in full. She tried to start calling around to all of the people she expected to come to her class reunion, but not a single one of them answered her calls. Not even those that she'd gotten replies from before the event answered her. And when she took a look at her social media, she noticed that all of them were beginning to post awesome and fun pictures from the actual class reunion, and that completely shattered her heart. This led to her trying to plead to the manager of that restaurant to let her off the hook this once, but as she sat there crying to him, she could hear police sirens in the background. She tried making a run for the front door, but it was too late, as they'd already locked it on her. And as the police walked up to the door, she curled up on the ground and began to sob. The police, after being let in, had her use her credit card to pay the restaurant the fee they had been asking for, and then walked her into the back of their police car to bring her over to my restaurant. When she showed up later that night with 2 police officers leading her into my restaurant, I let out a small laugh, just because the sight of all that made me so happy inside. She was then told by the police that she had 2 options. One was to pay me, and the other was to go with them to jail, where she'd have to await a court case for my lawyer and I. Surprisingly, though, she made the right choice, pulling out her checkbook and writing me a check that would take out pretty much all of the money she had saved up. I thanked her for that and waved her out of my restaurant, telling her to never come back again, feeling really good about that. After that had all been handled, June was without any money in her accounts, and now has quite the amount of debt to pay off on her credit card. She later tried going to her parents and asking them to do something to help her pay off the credit card she'd used, but they both told her she seriously needs to get herself a real job and start paying things off herself. I'm sure that was not the thing she wanted to hear from even her own parents, but they have a very good point. She can't just expect things to happen for her anymore, so that's why this time will be a good turning point for her, that she'll hopefully be able to learn from.
Hello, Meredith dear. How are you doing?
Wait, who is this?
It's me, Stella.
Wait, Stella? As in Stella Townsend?
That's right. Did you forget that we exchanged contact information not too long ago?
Did we really?
You told me what social media you use over the lunch break, and you even showed me your QR code so we could follow each other.
Things are coming back to me now. I'm sorry, Miss Townsend. Is something the matter?
Not a day goes by without me thinking how much of a kind person you are, Meredith dear. It's truly admiring.
Oh, is it really? Why, thank you, Miss Townsend. You just made my day.
You teach me. Quite the older woman already, that works so compassionately and considerately, and you're so friendly to me. I just felt like I should thank you. You're really helping me out with everything, dear, and I really appreciate it.
Am I really? I'm so glad to hear that. But rest assured, it's my job to teach temporary staff how we do our work, and I'm only doing what I do every day, Miss Townsend. But thank you for the kind sentiment.
Are we together during our shift tomorrow?
Oh, no, Miss Townsend. We're full-time employees, so we don't work during our shifts, you see. But if you mean, would we see each other at work tomorrow during the day, I suppose we will.
Oh, this is unfortunate. I have my work during the evening. Such a shame. I was so looking forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Too bad. Stella Townsend's sad.
I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunities, Miss Townsend.
I hope our lunch breaks coincide at least.
So do I. It depends on how busy we are during the day, and they can't let everyone off at once. It all comes down to timing, I suppose.
Oh, and I have something important to discuss with you too.
Oh? Is something the matter? Did you want a specific time for a shift?
No, not at all. This is about something far more important than that load of nonsense.
What? What's the matter, Miss Townsend? Are you all right?
That's exactly it. I might not be all right. That's why I wanted to speak to you tomorrow at work.
Is that so? I mean, if you're okay with it, we can talk about it here in DMs right now.
You have an older brother, don't you, dear?
What? I mean, I do have an older brother, but where did you find out about that?
Some other part-timer mentioned it, you see. I see your family lives quite the decent living, I have to say.
Oh, that's not true at all, Miss Townsend. We're only an ordinary family living ordinary lives, and even I moved out of my parents' home after I married my husband.
But I hear your brother is a medical practitioner. Is that true?
Wow, you really did your research, didn't you? You only joined last month, but you seem to have more information than most other employees already.
I make it my business to quickly accumulate lots of information that matters.
Is that so?
And? Is it true that your brother's a medical practitioner?
Yes, it is. More specifically, he started his practice only last month, so he still has a way to go to grow and flourish. My family's apparently going all out to help him, so much so that they'll even be busy during New Year's.
I see. How old is he?
Well, let's see. He's 5 years older than me, so that would make him 37 years old.
Is he really? Such an amazing feat at so young an age.
He took his time, and he prepared well for what he's become now. and he's very kind and respectable brother to have, Miss Townsend.
Oh, how nice! You must be so proud of him, Meredith, dear.
I am. I truly am.
I also hear he isn't married yet. Is this also true?
No, he isn't yet.
I do think that he and I could make it work, considering we aren't so far apart in age. What do you think?
Excuse me?
I'd like to get to know him, you see. Think we can get some proper introductions?
Introductions to do what, Miss Townsend?
Why, introductions to each other, Meredith, dear. Like I said, I'd like to get to know him. When would be a good time for him? I'm basically free every day, so I'll just make my schedule according to what your brother prefers.
I'm sorry, I must say I'm having trouble understanding this. Could you please slow down and start at the beginning?
I do think that the stress of being a busy medical practitioner can take a toll on someone.
I suppose so. But how does that have anything to do with you, Miss Townsend?
I think I'm just the right woman to help people feel relaxed and healed. Wouldn't you agree?
Huh?
In terms of looks, in personality, I've been told by multiple people that I'm a bit of a goofball. I believe that for a serious intellectual, like a doctor in practice, a woman like me, a little bit silly but also very caring and attractive, is what's best for a partner.
I'm sorry, Miss Townsend, but I must refrain from talking about personal matters.
What do you mean? This will only be between us, Meredith, dear. You can at least introduce us now, can't you? Or would you rather not because you're having a brotherly complex?
Excuse me?
You know, like you don't want anyone to steal your brother away from you. That is what you have, isn't it? Oh, you're so cute, Miss Meredith. Oh.
It's not that I have that, not at all. It's just that a brother's a brother, you see. And it really hasn't been very long since I first met you, Miss Townsend. And I can't do a responsible thing like introducing you to my brother without knowing much about you. You understand.
My. You're a stubborn lass. You sure have some old-fashioned thinking inside that young head of yours. It's worth noting that people really can't determine my real age because they tell me I look so young. Even for my clothes, I do research, and I sift through lots of magazines for younger people nowadays. And I must say, it's worked wonders.
I do admit you have the most exquisite sense of casual fashion.
I know, right? I say I'm the perfect woman for your brother, so I ask again. Could you please introduce me to him?
Sadly, I must inform you that it's been decided that he will marry someone through matchmaking.
What? What's with the old school here? I must say that true love will never result from a matchmaking marriage. You of all people must know that, right?
He's been pretty busy for such a long time, enough so that he never really had the proper time to meet anyone. We believe matchmaking will help him well in his situation.
And how old is this woman?
If I remember correctly, she's in her late 20s. I think she just came out of a medical graduate school with pretty good academic record.
And what would such a young woman know about anything? A woman acquires more and more taste the older she gets, you know.
Aren't you 42 in reality, Miss Townsend?
Just by looking at me, you'd assume I was 24, right? That's what lots of people tell me. I may look young on the outside, but on the inside, I am a fully grown woman with a lot of experience in life already. I really think that it's better for him if you introduce me to him instead of wasting him on matchmaking. I highly recommend myself.
But even so, they've already had a look at each other's personal statements and they seem to approve of each other. So I must say changing this last second will be difficult.
A personal statement? What's that?
It's like a self-introduction paper, often used in matchmaking.
resume? I'll bring my own tomorrow, so could you please give it to him? For your sake too, Meredith, dear. It's best if you start establishing good relations with your future sister now, isn't it?
I'm sorry? No, it's not a resume in the slightest. And forgive me for being so straightforward here, but I don't believe you'll ever become my sister.
Eh? Now that's what I call a rude outburst, right there. You're just scared that I'm going to rip your brother from you. Put yourself in his shoes. There is no way he's going to choose a woman whose only asset is that she's young.
I think he will, Miss Townsend. He was really into her when he read her personal statement. And also, not only is she indeed young, but she's also a colleague, fellow student from his days in medical school. She studied the same area in the same domain as he did, and he's quite interested in establishing a nice intellectual relationship, as well as a romantic one.
Is that so? But surely he's not going to go through with the marriage.
I think he will, honestly. I do think they're right for each other myself.
There's absolutely no way. If your brother chooses such a woman over someone like me, I have to say that is a real turn-off.
Excuse me? What do you mean by that?
She's 10 whole years younger than him, you know? No amount of study should keep a person from thinking rationally about this. Let's just take a moment here. She is far too young for him. He may not be very experienced with women, but it's worth telling him that there are so many more fish in the sea, right? Fish like me.
Could you, stop this right now?
Huh? What did I do? Oh, I see. You're just jealous of me, aren't you? You just can't stand the truth that you can never become the wife of a medical practitioner, one of the most respected and highest paying jobs there is, can you?
I'm starting to get a little tired. I think we should call it a day here, Townsend.
Huh?
I'm telling you to stop this nonsense right now. Could you not come into my social media to talk about personal matters? It's never my business to discuss such matters with mere colleagues at work. If you have anything more to discuss, please contact headquarters.
What's with that language? Told your future sister, no less.
You'll never be my sister, Townsend. You're annoying me. You do realize I'm your boss at the moment, right? I don't believe this is appropriate behavior, do you?
I do understand you're my boss, Meredith dear, but you are so much younger than me.
And what the hell is wrong with that? And the way you call me dear all the time? I've had it. I'm putting an end to this. You probably wanted to get my contact information because you wanted a way to get to my brother. But in my eyes, it will always be a big no from me. Should you ever for my blessing to even meet him, I'm not going to introduce you to him, Townsend.
But why?
First of all, I must advise you to stop dressing like a teenager when in fact you're 42 years old. If you're gonna buy a bunch of cheap young folk clothes, I suggest you get those white hairs of yours properly dyed at a nice salon. Wouldn't you agree?
How rude! I'm telling you that I am beautiful just the way I am.
I do think that depends on the person, Townsend. In any case, I must warn you that if you don't make some changes to your behavior in the workplace, you will face the consequences. You can start by using polite language towards your superiors. At this rate, I don't believe your contract with your displacement agency will be renewed or extended. And a non-married woman without a job in her 40s is not exactly anyone's vision of a nice life now, is it? Good luck to you, Townsend. Miss Townsend showed up at work the next day to complain about Meredith's attitude in DMs the day before. But Meredith dealt with her in cold strictness, and perhaps that made Townsend's blood boil because she started shouting loudly and caused a great calamity inside the call center. Her dispatch employee contract with the company was terminated right there and then. Miss Meredith, along with a few other superiors, filed a complaint to the agency who dispatched Townsend to their enterprise and asked for proper punishment. As a result, her resignation status with the agency was deleted. And lo and behold, she really did become a jobless woman without a husband. She'd registered in other dispatch agencies since then, but all of them were denied a renewal. Seems like her situation with work will only get more difficult as time goes by, unless she makes some changes.